Hello everyone, my name is Sarai Castillo. I am the digital arts instructor here at the Boys and Girls Club of LA Harbor, and today we're going to go over some animation techniques regarding world building and backgrounds. So we're going to first divide this sort of tutorial into two parts. So this part is us building our world and background, and the second part we're going to create an animation that goes over the background. So I think it's a pretty neat little way to animate. It's very common and it's pretty simple. I feel like a lot of you, if you have the program that I previously mentioned, which is Fire Alpaca, you'll be able to create this relatively easy. So let's get started. This is my final product here. So what we did is a simple sort of starry night with the northern lights sort of effect, and this is all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And this is all done in Fire Alpaca. So I'm going to start explaining which layer does what. So in Fire Alpaca, if you look over to your layer panel, we're going to see, I'm going to make all of these disappear one by one. So we just started out with a blank space. Actually, before I forget, we're going to go over to File, New, once we create our canvas. So that's going to be 1920 by 1080 at 300 dpi. So that's going to be the size we're working with. We're going to hit OK. In this case, I already have my canvas, and I filled it with the bucket tool with this color. It was sort of a navy blue, and that's going to be our first layer, which is our sky. In this layer, I used my airbrush tool to create a variety of stars. So you can do this one by one, or you can, if you want to do something a little more advanced, you can download a custom brush. So what I did is I went over to the pen at the top, so that lets us know that we want to draw, and then we're going to go to airbrush. So with airbrush, we're going to set it to a relatively small brush, and we're going to set the opacity, which is how much we can see of the brush, of the color and intensity, pretty low. We're going to set that pretty low, and then you can start creating your dots. Some of them will be a little faded, but I think that's a nice little effect. If you want to make the opacity even darker, you can start saying more white. And I feel like that creates more variety, and pretty simple. Just start creating your dots. And that's starting to look pretty nice. I like the variety that the airbrush gives. So that's pretty much what I did all the way around the canvas. You can even add some more in the corner if you want, just to make it look more alive. And then, so we're done with that. And then in this layer, it's going to be sort of our halo that's going around the lights in the middle. So this is the glow, the basic glow. So we're going to go to airbrush again, and we're going to make it really big. And we're going to set the opacity really low. And I went in with, in my preference, I went with the sort of like a light bluish green. And then I just went all the way across that to do the glow. And then for this layer, same thing, only that the brush, we want a really soft brush, and also a little bit smaller, maybe like that big. And I literally just went in with a bunch of colors that I liked in the center. So I did blues, light blues, I did pinks, I did yellows, and I just sort of went crazy and did it all in the center. So that's what I did here. And then for the next layer, I know this looks a little weird, we'll just know that right now, but I went in and actually changed the layer. So my layer for this part, I made it into a lighten, and I made my brush smaller, and this is how I got the effect for my shooting stars here. So I made the brush really small, I set the opacity low, and I made it go across like that. Oh, well, I'm on blue. I used pink for this as a side note. I used pink, going like that. And then that's a pretty small brush. You can make it bigger if that's the effect you want to go for. I went with a slightly medium brush. And I just started going across, and then I took advantage of the glowy effect of this layer, because remember we're on lighten over here. And I made my brush kind of like a medium size, and I started adding, let's make the opacity a little, and I started making glow effects going there, especially this brighter color, and play with your colors and see how they blend, because not every color is going to look the same. So see how it looks here and then how it looks here. So sort of play around with how it looks, and I'm actually going to add more glow. Opacity down. So see how cool that looks? Like, there's really no wrong way of doing any of this. It's just a matter of figuring out what tool does what, and sort of just adding. See, I like this way better. Just add and just keep making it low. I think I really like this setting because I keep playing with it, but see how much more colorful and vibrant that is in comparison to just, the flat colors that we had. It's very important that you change the blending modes of your layers. In this case, we have it on lighten. And yeah, just sort of play around with it a little bit. And I'm gonna leave it as is like this. And I'm gonna add my foreground, which was the black sort of hill looking foreground. And here, this is important because in our next video, we're actually gonna make it so that the character we make walks across this part, so it's important we keep that. And then I just added a moon. I just drew one, and the way I did that is I went in with a pen, and then I did white. I made it kind of big, so you can kind of see how big that's going to be. And then I just literally clicked once, went to my eraser, did about the same size eraser. And actually, it's a little high. So same size eraser. That. And yep, I actually like this moon better, so I'm gonna erase this moon, and we can select with our lasso tool, Control T on your keyboard, and there we go. Press enter, Control V, and there you have it. That's your Starry Night background. It's a fun, easy way to create any background that you want for your animations, for even just a desktop, a wallpaper. And you can definitely add more, maybe add trees or houses that you can draw in the foreground, like a black, so it looks like a silhouette. You can add constellations that connect, more shooting stars, anything that your imagination wants, or anything your imagination creates it. It's pretty much endless with these programs, and that's why they're so cool. So let's go here. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty virtually flexible. It's a good program to practice. And again, in the next video, we're going to discuss how to animate on top of the background that we just made. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, give us a like, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.